Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video, I finally got my rig upstairs in my spare room where I really wanted it. It's all set up and it's working really well, so I thought I'd do a little video, show you how I've got it all set up. But also, it's coming up to about 5-6 months now that I've had the GT DD Pro, so I thought I'd give you like my half yearly thoughts on it. So I've got some positives and I've got some cons on it, so I thought we'd just talk about that and go through that. But first, we'll go through the rig setup and I'll show you how I've got that. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll talk about that. Okay, so that's my rig setup, as you can see. So if you saw my last rig setup, it's exactly the same, position. It's just now upstairs where I really want it. Okay, so we'll first start with the monitor. So I've had a few monitors. Previously I had two 27-inch IPS displays. First was an LG, then was a BenQ, and it will be really interesting if you guys can help me out on this as well. That on both monitors I was getting image retention, and it wouldn't last for very long. That it will disappear. But one of them, well, they're both on Gran Turismo, funny enough as well. I was either getting the tire little markers stay, or I was getting the timer on them. But basically, I returned both of them. Got them all from Amazon, so it was fine. And I got this monitor a couple of days ago. So this is a Dell monitor. I think it's called the G3223D. It's basically a 32-inch IPS display, 165 hertz and 1440p. So that's working really well. What I really like about this monitor and what my kids really like, it's got a blue light at the back, which looks awesome. But yeah, so that's working well at the moment. And touch wood, that's no more monitors. So at the top, I've got the PlayStation 5 camera. That's such a letdown, that thing. So originally, I thought I could get that to do record my gameplay and my face cam at the same time, but you can't. You can only stream with that thing, which is really annoying. But anyway, so at the back, you can see I've got it connected, the same as before, to a monitor arm. And I've got my Pulse headset there. I've got a couple of speakers, so when I'm gaming, I'm not headset. Like I've got some sound, control pad. See, I've got my little YouTube play button over there, which is awesome. Coming down here, I've got my control pads on my charger. I've got this little box to keep all the cables in, to do a bit of cable management to keep the wife happy. And then, again, same before, I've got the PS5 underneath the pedal plate, which works really well. And as it's cold at the moment in the UK, it kicks out some heat and keeps my feet warm, which is great. Coming around, so you've got the pedals with the upgrade kit, so that's looking good. And then next to that, as you can see, the 8 Newton meter power pack straps down there, and then coming up to the Fanatec GT DD Pro with the custom decals that I've done. And then to finish that off, as you can see, I've got the Next Level Racing GT Lite Pro. That works okay. Got some straps on it to keep the backrest up. And I've just pimped it out with some Iron Maiden patches. As you know, I'm a massive fan of Iron Maiden. Okay, so we'll just flip the video around and we'll talk about my thoughts on the GT DD Pro. Okay, so like I said, I've had the GT DD Pro about 5 or 6 months now, and yeah, I just thought I'd give you my thoughts on how it's gone so far. I think I've been using it on and off probably every day or every other day, probably clocking in, I don't know, a couple of hours each day, every other day using it. So I put a fair amount of use on it. But yeah, so I thought we'll start with the steering wheel first. So let me flip the camera around. Okay, so as you know, this is the bundle and it comes with a GT Gran Turismo wheel. We'll start with the cons. It's a great wheel. It does exactly what you need it to do. The shifting, that works really well. I've never had any miss shifts or anything like that. So the display, that's really good. Can we turn it on? Let's turn it on. Yeah, the display works really well. You can do all your adjustments and that's working okay. And the rev meter along the top, so it flashes obviously, and then when you need to change gear you can see it really clearly, so that works really well. So yeah, as a standard wheel which you need to get going, it works good. Right, but the cons with this wheel, the first off is this material that they decided to use for it. It's like a hard rubber, so it's fine, doesn't really wear, but the problem is it just feels tacky to the touch, and then it's not breathable in any kind of way. So that after when you're racing for a while, your hands get sweaty, and then it starts to leave, like, I don't know what it is, some weird residue. I don't know if you like skin cells coming off on here, and after a while you just leaving white marks. So, well, I don't know what they need to do, but they need to either wrap this in leather or change the material. I mean, I understand they have to hit a price point for it, but I think paying just a little bit extra to get a better quality rubber or something on here would be great. But yeah, so that was the first con. I think there's only a couple. The next con is the button layout on this. So when I first got this, I was driving on automatic on everything, and the button layout was fine. But now that I'm using the gears, nothing is really reachable when you're holding and trying to change gear. You have to take your hand off to like I got, there you go, so that's my overtake button there. I've got my pit one up there. Down here the clutch is fine because you only use it once. But if you're like in the middle of a race and you want to hit the overtake button and you're changing gears at the same time, you've got to take your hands off the wheel to press it. So this button layout for changing gears is a nightmare. I don't know how they came up with this, but yeah, it's great. So I will be eventually changing to the McLaren GT3 or V2 wheel, mainly because everything is in, thumb, so you can actually hold the wheel and rotate round on that. Okay, so and that's pretty much it on the wheel. Other than that, the buttons work really well. They click in and out okay. All of these work fine. So functionally wise, it's absolutely fine. Okay, we'll move on to the next bit, which is the quick release. So as you know, this thing comes standard with the plastic quick release, and quite quickly, because I've got the 8 Nm pack, it happened on Interlagos. Let's flip the camera back around. Yeah, so it happened on Interlagos, the Brazilian track. So as I was driving, there's a couple of corners where you have to make like some quite quick turns, and I was noticed with the plastic quick release, I was getting a knocking noise, and no matter, you can't over tighten it, because if you over tighten it, it's going to break. But it's basically the wheel moving on the quick release. So yeah, so I bought the metal quick release, which is right there, and I put the bolt in it as well. So it's a quick release mechanism, but obviously got the bolts in it, and that's fine. It doesn't move anymore. It doesn't creak or anything like that. So yeah, if you got this wheel and you're running it with the 8 Nm pack, you really do need to get a metal quick release. Now they have released the new QR2, which I really would like to get, and at the moment they've got the Black Friday sale on, so the actual shaft is like €20. That's crazy. So I'm probably going to order that, and then at some later point I'll then order the quick release mechanism itself and then change it. There's no real rush at the moment because this is my only wheel and it's all secure, so that's okay. But yeah, so that's really the only negative with the quick release, is that if you're running high power, then you really need some sort of metal quick release with it. Otherwise you're going to get movement eventually. Okay, so that's that, and then we'll move on to the base. The base is solid. There's not much else to say about it. My only real gripe with it is, and I don't know if any of you guys have had this as well, so if I'm, say, playing F1 and then I go into the pits, when the game takes over, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the wheel will keep turning like this. And I can either let it continue to turn, but then that means that when I'm coming out of the pits, the wheel, the wheels on the car are like hard locks left or right, which is rubbish. And then you've got to quickly come back. Or you've got to physically hold it. So for like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, however long it takes for the pit stop, you're holding the force of the wheel back to stop it from spinning. Now I've done firmware updates and everything, so that's all up to date, but occasionally it still does it. So it'd be interesting to know if any of you guys have got this and it actually happens. Other than that, I don't know. I could contact Fanatec about it and see what they say. But yeah, so that does that, which is really annoying. But other than that, the base is great. And that combined with the 8 Nm power pack, that's all I'm ever going to need, I think, power-wise. Like I said, I've only got, on Formula 1, I've got it set to about 75% power. So, and then on Gran Turismo, it's set on 6. So I'm assuming that's like 60% force. and that's fine. I can go up a little bit higher maybe, but I don't need it any more powerful than that. So the 8Nm power back is great. It's brilliant. It gives you all the force you need and all the detail you need. So that's really good. Okay, so the last thing to talk about is the pedals. There's not much to talk about there. Flip it around here. So yeah, the pedals work really well. They're solid, all metal. As you can see, I did upgrade. I probably would suggest that upgrade the plates to these ones. It just gives it such more of a premium feel. They're really nice and solid. Because it's a flat surface, you can really slide your foot up and down when you're accelerating and braking. But yeah, I may eventually upgrade to the load cell brake, but this brake pedal is fine as well. And my only gripe with this is, and this is just a personal thing, this isn't anything to do with the build quality or anything like that, is that I like a stiffer spring on my accelerator. And the main reason for that is, flip the camera back around. Oh. Yeah, the main reason for that is that if I'm coming around a bend and I only need to put, say, 30% power down or 50% power down, that heavier spring helps me from stop, like just flooring it to the end of its travel. So yeah, and at the moment it would be nice if Fanatec did like an upgrade spring kit for that, but they don't. And the only one, I think there's some, you can buy an aftermarket spring on eBay, which I may or may not do. It's only like 20 quid, so I might see if that improves it at all. But like I said, that's a complete personal thing. But yeah, other than that, 6 months, I'm super happy with it. Yeah, like I said, the only thing we're really going to change is the wheel, and then eventually the new QR2 system. Really looking forward to getting that. But yeah, so yeah, other than that, it's been a great purchase for me. I'm really enjoying it. Racing with the manual gears is brilliant now. Now that I've gotten used to it, I will never go back to a normal manual, to automatic when playing games. It's just been amazing. So yeah, so if you're ever thinking, you know, should I not? I really do highly recommend getting it. It's an amazing piece of kit for the price. Black Friday's on at the moment, so you might get some deals on some bits and bobs. We've got Christmas coming up as well, so there might be some more sales coming in. But yeah, it's definitely worth it, and I do highly recommend it. Okay guys, so I think that'll do it for this video. Like I said, super happy with my whole setup now. It's all upstairs, I'm comfortable, and my wife's happy it's out of the living room, and I can just come work in game whenever I want. It's really good. Okay guys, so that'll do it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, bye.